Yeah, you are so special. Remember, there are 12 brands of human beings, and they're all special in their own right. It is to get to know them, know which brand you are. And if you get to know how special you are, you're going to become even more special. Now, it is important to note that in this world there are 12 distinct personalities, namely their individual times of birth. In each group, we could identify the 12 signs of the zodiac as well, like Leo and Virgo and Cancer and Sagittarius and all that. Anyway, each group is compiled based on the year of birth and not the zodiac signs that we're all familiar with. Now let's take a look at the basic traits of each group. First of all, it is important to note that there are 12 realms or heavens where the human spirit emerge. The first house or group is Abasi, named after a wise African elder. He rules the first heaven, situated in the north of the esoteric realm. His ruling time for man to God contact is 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Persons from this group should face the north at this time while in prayer or meditation in order to face their guardian angel. Now, the word Abasi is a Swahili name meaning stern. It comes out of East Africa. Abasi people have many great traits, I invite you to read the book of Abasi to know more. It is available now. You can call me for details at 876-844-2295. That is 876-844-2295. If you are indeed an Abasi person, you deserve to know as much about yourself as possible. You belong to a remarkably honorable group of persons. Now, the people of Abasi arrives on planet Earth every 12 years. Their year begins on Bob Marley Day, February 6, until February 5, the following year. The Abasi years are as follows: 1924, 1936, 1948, 1960, 1972, 1984, 1996, 2008, 2020. And these people shall return to the planet Earth. That's the next batch of Abasi people in 2032, 2044, and 2056, etc. Now, on Earth, there are 5 elements that rule the various years. For instance, 1924 was ruled by nature or wood. 1936 produced the fire Abasi. 1948 produced earth Abasi. 1960 metal Abasi. 1972 water Abasi. 1984 wood Abasi. 1996 fire Abasi. 2008 earth Abasi. 2020 metal Abasi. 2032 will be water Abasi. 2044 will be wood Abasi. 2056 will be fire Abasi. The Abasi of these 5 elements have different temperaments based on their ruling elements. Knowing oneself is the key to wealth, happiness, and good health. It is the introduction to self-knowledge, a roadmap to wisdom, the path to successful mating as well. Now, here's a chief personality trait of Abasi. Abasi people are known for their kindness, especially to needy people, the poor or less fortunate, and those who are old and sick. As a matter of fact, The greatest caregivers in this world are the Abasi women. These women travel to far off lands and would naturally find themselves taking care of young children at children's homes, old sickly people at old people's homes, etc. It is indeed true that the most dedicated and loving nurses on our planet are Abasi people, both male and female. Abasi men do very well in construction, building new houses for people who would live there for generations to come. Because Abasi is a family-oriented group. In my experience, they are angels who would never stray far from their original angelic nature. So if you are an Abasi person, you deserve to know much more about yourself and about others as well. Get the book of Abasi, written by yours truly, King Majesty. It is available. And it is important to note that Abasi people are perfectly compatible with Ihiose people and Ibrahim people. These three, when combined, would build a great empire. They form the first of four triangles, and when combined, are magnificent in personal power. Now, the people who may oppose Abasi the most are the people of Gamba. So if Abasi gets married to a Gamba person, a divorce is most likely. And the other 9 signs or groups are compatible with Abasi to varying degrees. There are, of course, a few rare occasions when an Abasi and Gamba person would have a lot in common, but unless they be soulmates, which is a phenomenon that violates all laws of astrological compatibility, or having compatible rising signs, the union of Abasi and Gamba seldom really works. That's the truth. Now, the second house or group is Bandele, named after a wise African elder. He rules the second heaven, situated in the northeast of the esoteric realm. His ruling time from man to God contact is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. People from this group should face the northeast at this time, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., while in prayer or meditation, in order to face their guardian angel. Now, the word Bandele is a name from the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. Bandele means born away from home. Bandele people have many special traits. I invite you to read the book of Bandele if you are a Bandele person, in order to get to know yourself to the maximum. It will soon be available for your reading pleasure. To get this book, you could call me at 876-844-2295. The people of Bandele arrives on planet Earth every 12 years. Their year begins on February 6, Bob Marley Day, and ends on February 5 in the following year. The Bandele years are as follows: 1925, 1937, 1949, 1961, 1973, 1985, 1997, 2009, 2021. And they will return 2033, 2045, 2057. Here on Earth, in each group of people, there are 5 elements at play. Some people in each group are ruled by fire, some by water, some by wood, and so on. For instance, let's look at the 5 Bandele flavors of persons. 1925 was ruled by the element of wood, while 1937 produced the fire Bandele people. 1949 was earth, 1961 metal, 1973, water. 1985, wood. 1997, fire. 2009, earth. 2021, metal. 2033 will be water. 2045 will be wood. 2057 will be fire. The Mandela people of these five elements have different temperaments based on the element that rules their year of birth. Fire element people are usually hot-tempered, and water element people are usually cool, just like water. Read the book, Wisdom Unveiled, Enter the Lion, of your individual sign or group to be properly informed and to understand your own ways and the ways of others in your circle. Let's take a look at a chief personality trait of Bandele. Bandele people are known for their diligence and hard work. If anyone would work at a company for an entire lifetime and receive many long service awards, he or she is probably a Bandele person. These people are a very stern, no-nonsense type, the most predictable and hardworking people in the world. They are so set in their ways that they maintain the same attitude right through life and therefore are very predictable. These are the most hardworking people in the world, as I have said. The problem is, though, they have a most powerful memory. This often causes them to live in the past and be unforgiving toward others who had hurt them a very long time ago. This often causes them to live in the past, as I said, holding on to memories that are better off forgotten. And it stopped them from being optimistic about moving forward, even in love life. Bandele people are perfectly compatible with Jabari and Fadil people. When these three are combined, they are unbeatable in the art of planning and remarkably productive in whatever job they undertake. Jabari is almost as hardworking as Bandele, with an eye for small details, and Fadil is endowed with great wisdom and vision to point the way forward. But the people who will oppose Bandele the most is Hakizimana, who will be easily hurt by the insensitive, no-nonsense ways of Bandele. Bandele is part of the second triangle of human compatibility and should avoid getting married to a Hakizimana person. The other 9 signs are compatible with Bandele to varying degrees. A marriage or union between Bandele and Hakizimana may work in a few very rare instances, perhaps based on their hours of birth. Now let's take a look at the Cheke people. The third group or house are the Cheke people. Cheke was named after a wise African elder. He rules the third heaven, situated in the east-northeast of the esoteric realm. His ruling time from man to God contact is 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. nightly. Persons from this group should face the east-northeast at this time, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., while in prayer or meditation, in order to face their guardian angel. The name Cheke means power of God, and it comes from the Igbo tribe in Nigeria. Cheke people have many great traits. I would invite you to read the book of Cheke, as it will be released soon. Knowing yourself will be very rewarding. Some of the greatest people to grace the face of this earth are the Cheke people. The great Usain Bolt is quite an example of Cheke in his excellence. The people of Cheke arrives on planet Earth every 12 years. Their year begins on Bob Marley Day, February 6, until February 5 on the following year. The Cheke years are as follows: 1926, 1938, 1950, 1962, 1974, 1986, 1998, 2010, 2022. And the next batch of chickens will be born in 2034, 2046, and 2058. The elements that rule over these people are as follows. 1926 was fire, 1938 was earth, 1950 was metal, 1962 was water, 1974 was wood, 1986 was fire, 1998 was earth, 2010 was metal, 2022 was water. But 2034 will be wood, and 2046 will be fire. 2058 will be ruled by earth. It is important to note that every human being in each group gets an opportunity to produce an offspring of his own group or sign every 12 years. But to clone yourself, which means to create an exact mental and spiritual offspring that would be the sole duplicate of yourself, a person will have to be 60 years old because the cycle of elements is a 60-year cycle. Every 12 years, you could create a child who would be very much like you from your same group. But that child would not be the same element as yourself unless, of course, you produce that child in the 60th year of your birth. So yes, a man could very easily clone himself astrologically, but not a woman because women generally don't conceive at the age of 60. And of course, you would want to produce your same birth sign as well. For example, if you are a Leo Chicken, for instance, you would want to create a Leo Chicken child or a Leo child in a Chicken year if you cherish yourself that much. Then you will have to get to work and conceive that child during the reign of Scorpio. Likewise, the mating time for Aries would be Cancer. The mating time to create a Taurus child is in Leo. To make a Gemini child, the woman must get pregnant in Virgo. For a Cancer child, the woman must get impregnated in Libra. To make a Virgo child, the baby must be conceived in Sagittarius. And to make a Libra child, one would need to get pregnant during the reign of Capricorn. Of course, to make a Scorpio child, your mating season is in Aquarius. And to make a Sagittarius child, you must conceive in the reign of Pisces. The mating season for Capricorn is Aries, and the mating season for Aquarius is in the reign of Taurus. If you want a Pisces child, then you'll need to get pregnant in Gemini. And to make an Aries child, you must conceive in Cancer. If you desire to build a real empire, you must first know how to create another you, someone who would easily reproduce your ideas, re-establish your ideals and your designs. The key to wealth is to reproduce excellence consistently. For example, many of Bob Marley's children are blessed with Bob Marley's voice. His bloodline will never be hungry again, I can assure you. Those of you who are from the house of Chike should know that Chike stands out as one of the most impressive players within the human family. Let's take a brief look at Chike's traits. Out of the house of Chike come the greatest actors, musicians, and sports people. As I said before, Usain Bolt single-handedly showed the world who and what is a Chike person. And whoever break his record can only be another Chike person and most likely a member of the African race. The only problem with Chike is that in spite of the fact that they are admired by everyone, the truth is the Chike people tend to make the most expensive mistakes in life because they too often act swiftly. Technically, they tend to leap before they look. Apart from that, people could only envy them because the Cheke person is often worth his weight in gold. Let's talk about the Dowdy people. The fourth house or group of human beings in our world is the people of Dowdy. Named after a wise African elder, he rules the fourth heaven, situated in the east of the esoteric realm. His ruling time to govern his realm is 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. This is his time for man to God contact. People from this group should face the east between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. while in prayer or meditation in order to command their guardian angel. It is a most empowering moment at this time. It is important to note that Almighty God and in His wisdom have given the human being the right to command angels, although the Holy Scriptures have failed to instruct man as to how this may be achieved. However, the Scriptures did hint that wisdom would increase as the years roll by, and as humans wax in sin and wickedness, it seems obvious that the gatekeepers and messengers among the human population would wax in wisdom as a counterbalance measure to do the will of the Most High and explain or instruct the babes and sucklings in the ways and statutes of the God and Goddess of the universe, Father Time and Mother Nature, respectively. He who have given us the breath of life, namely oxygen, of which we cannot survive without, and she who sends us the element of water in the form of rain to nurture the element of wood, namely trees and vegetation, to procure food for mankind and animal kind. Anyway, it is important to note that the word Dowdy is a Swahili name from East Africa, and it means beloved one. This name inspires great virtue, as seen in the Dowdy personality. Yes, the Dowdy people have many great virtues. We invite all Dowdy people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just type the words King Majesty and be updated as to when your book, the Book of Dowdy, will be released. In the Wisdom Unveiled, Enter the Lion group of books. You can call me at 876-844-2295. Now, the people of Dowdy arrive on planet Earth every 12 years. Dowdy year begins on Bob Marley Day, February 6, until February 5 of the following year. The years of Dowdy are as follows: 1927, 1939, 1951, 1963, 1975, 1987, 1999, 2011, 2023, and will return in the years 2035, 2047, 2059, etc. We have said that here on planet Earth there are 5 elements that influence the various years, a different element for each of the 12 years in a classic 60-year cycle. For instance, 1927 was ruled by the element of fire, 1939 was ruled by earth, 1951 was ruled by metal, 1963 was ruled by water, 1975 was ruled by nature or wood, 1987 fire, 1999 earth, 2011 metal, 2023 water. In the future years, 2035 will be ruled by wood, 2047 fire, 2059 will be ruled by earth. Now let's take a brief summary of the Dowdy personality. A person born in the year of Dowdy is one of the most fortunate of the 12 groups or signs of the African zodiac. Dowdy is a symbol of longevity and is said to have a very deep connection to the moon. According to our executive elders, Dowdy symbolizes class, graciousness, excellent counsel, good manners, kindness, and a very deep love for beauty. Soft spoken and graceful, Dowdy people make excellent diplomats and very respected and honorable politicians. Dowdy here tend to produce some of the most peaceful people in the world. Peacefulness and a quiet environment is his usual habitat. A very artistic and art loving person, Dowdy possesses good judgment, and his or her thoroughness makes Dowdy a very good scholar. They generally shine in the fields of law, politics, and government. Dowdy, however, is inclined to be moody. At such times, he or she may appear a bit detached or uncaring. But when it comes to making money, Dowdy shines from a young age. A wonderful planner and organizer in the business world. Excellent in sales and marketing. Extraordinary at negotiating deals and making others see things his way and spend their money on his ideas. But the truth is, what hurt Dowdy the most is criticism. His rather walk away. His rather walk away than fight attitude can be deceiving though, and he can be extremely cunning when he decides to go on the attack. So while Dowdy is loving and caring to those he cares about, he can be dangerous to those who oppose him. He may not get loud and aggressive, but he may put you in court and sue you for every cent you have ever earned in your life if your dealings toward him is unfair. But even to his worst enemy, Dowdy is very calm and understanding. He or she will not be disrespectful or cuss and carry on, but Dowdy have his own classic ways to deal with those who are evil and disrespectful. When it comes to self-control, Dowdy was born a true master. No one can read his mind or predict his next move. Dowdy tends to criticize no one and would embarrass no one in public. This makes him or her a classic friend to have in your corner. Dowdy avoids all areas of high risk. His own personal security is always his highest concern. It is clear, though, that among the human family, Dowdy in the game of life is a real winner. When it comes to compatibility, Dowdy is part of the third triangle of human compatibility. The Dowdy person is absolutely compatible with the Lisimba person and the Hakizimana person. When these three come together, they could build an empire based on soft power. When combined, these three are sure winners. It is a beautiful and rewarding combination, a meeting of minds and hearts. Believe you me, these three could do no wrong. The type of person that will be a real challenge to Dowdy is Jabari. Those two, Dowdy and Jabari, are totally incompatible. Marriage between them usually ends in divorce. Of course, there's a rare chance they may make it together, but that chance is rare indeed. Jabari is much too critical for Dowdy, who hates criticism. The other 9 signs or groups are compatible with Dowdy to varying degrees. This, my friends, is wisdom unveiling. Now let's take a look at the Ihiose people. The Earth Ihiose is 1928, Metal Ihiose is 1940, Water Ihiose is 1952, Wood Ihiose is 1964, Fire Ihiose is 1976, Earth Ihiose is 1988, Metal Ihiose is the year 2000, and Water Ihiose is the year 2012. The year 2024, which is next year, will be Wood Ihiose. 2036 will produce Fire Ihiose. 2048 will be produce Earth Ihiose, and 2060 will be Metal Ihiose for sure. Now listen to this. The fifth house or group of human beings in our world is the people of Ihiose, named after a wise African elder. He rules the fifth realm or heaven, situated in the east southeast of the esoteric realm. His ruling time of the day is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. This, of course, is his time for man to God contact. People from this group should face 1 inch to the right side of the sun between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning while in prayer or meditation in order to assume command of their guardian angel. If you are an Ihiose person, this is your most empowering time of the day. Now, the word Ihiose comes from Benin in Nigeria, and it means I am above other people's jealousy. Ihiose is like an eagle, a bird that can fly as high as an airplane, but who can see a tiny mouse or a fish from that height and snatch it up before anyone could stop him. The Ihiose person is like that, a human powerhouse who don't care what others think of him. Now, when the Dogon people from Mali, right, ruled at the time by the richest man that ever lived, a man called Mansa Musa, they assembled at some point an army to fight an army of vicious invading Arabs who captured Africans and dragged them across the Sahara Desert and sold them as slaves. This African army was based on astrological precision. Mansa Musa was not just rich in gold and diamonds and money. He was also rich in assembling wise people with powerful, wise ideas. He was one who was one of the builders of the University of Timbuktu in Mali. So they had this special forces of warriors, 70 warriors, all born in Ihiose year, were assembled by the king, Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, to fight against 400 Arab invaders. Deadly, vicious, the greatest warriors out of Arabia. Now, it was a devastating showdown. A battle that went down in African history as the Battle of the Giants. This does not mean that the Africans were taller. That was a lie that the defeated Arabs told to save face. The few who returned to Arabia alive. It was said that 40 Ihiose men and 30 Ihiose women attacked 400 Arab warriors who were invaders. And only 10 Arabs returned home to Saudi Arabia to tell the tale. It was a devastating defeat. Some people call it the impossible victory. Because not a single African was killed, although a few were badly wounded. It is said that the Ihiose warriors fought in a military arrangement called the Heaven and Earth Attack Technique, featuring women shooting arrows from treetops and men attacking from under the ground with boomerang weapons, spears, and poison darts. The battle lasted only 3 days, and the only Arabs who escaped the fury of those Ihiose warriors were a handful who ran away. It was a terrible defeat. one that stopped the Arabs from stealing Africans as slaves for almost 100 years. This event speaks volumes of the skill and mastery of the Ihiose spirit when militarily trained, superior in warfare, and as fearless as lions on the prowl. It is said that the chief female commander, the daughter of the great Mansa Musa, one of his daughters, Princess Zinzi, broke the necks of 50 well-armed Arabs with her bare hands and plucked out their eyes. No one could touch her. She commanded all her warriors to fight naked, and they rubbed crude oil from under the earth on their skin, so you couldn't even grab them. Zakaira, chief of the male warriors, killed over 100 Arabs in the blackness of night. And as the sun rose on the fourth day, not a single Arab on the battlefield was seen alive. They were all decapitated. All their heads were missing. It is important to note that when in the heat of battle, the Ihiose warriors have no desire to live. How can anyone defeat fighters who have no desire to stay alive? It is impossible. When the whole army have that same attitude, such is the spirit of the great Ihiose. In those days, the fear of death did not exist among our warriors. Why? We had something called boomerang technology. Why would a ruler who had over 20,000 warriors send only 70 warriors to fight 400 Arab invaders? Astrologically, the doggone people of Mali knew about the planets that astrologers only discovered 30 years ago. They knew how to charge their boomerangs with interplanetary cosmic energy ray at every full moon. A boomerang is an L-shaped weapon that easily chops off the heads of the enemy and returns to the hand of the warrior who threw it. But sadly, in the year 1165 BC, the University of Timbuktu, the place where we charge our boomerangs, was attacked by the Hyksos, a band of terrorists from Asia. It was a surprise attack. The university was destroyed, and many of our highest elders were killed. We lost boomerang technology that year, and the Mali Empire fell. Now, look what has become of our people. 400 years of slavery has turned lions into lambs, but not forever. For like an ancient riverbed, our power will, like a long-lost spring, form a new river, and our technologies of old shall reappear. 2024 is the year of Ihiose. Every child born in that year will be an Ihiose warrior. Every pregnant woman of our race should wait proudly to see their children. Every father who is blessed with an Ihiose child shall salute to the gods. The Ihiose personality is something to talk about, because the mighty and magnificent Ihiose is someone to stir the imagination. No one alive is more energetic than an Ihiose person. In mind, heart, and soul, Ihiose is strong and constantly on the go. Ihiose is generous and forgiving, especially toward people who actually hate him. He or she is a charitable soul. Ihiose grudges no one. He's merciful and will give any amount of money to help those who are in need. But Ihiose is also egotistical and terribly demanding and unreasonable when he is negative. Still, everyone tends to admire the Ihiose person. He or she is very proud and very direct. They say what they mean exactly, no beating around the bush. Ihiose decides early in life what sort of standards he will defend. and he demands the same high standards and perfection from others that he has for himself. It is said that Ihioze behaves like an emperor. His spirit is a spirit of absolute power. The Ihioze person decides his own destiny and brings it to fulfillment. Even as a child, he will tend to take up important burdens and responsibilities, even if he happens to be the youngest person in the family. Often, older Ihioze children will bring up younger siblings with much more authority than the parents. Ihioze is born with the will and the potential for accomplishing great things, and everything he does on a grand scale. He would easily become fanatical over any issue. Whether good or bad, Ihioze is the talk of his town. He is indeed the guardian of wealth and power. Ihioze people are almost always prosperous. If you are deciding to oppose an Ihioze person, you'll soon find that he or she is impossible to contest. He intimidates anyone who would dare challenge him. When he is angry, he is really, really angry. And when he decides to go to war, no one could actually stop him. But in spite of his hot temper, he forgives others surprisingly easy, no matter how angry he is. With a family member, he would very quickly help that person if ever that person needs his help. However, that person could also count on a severe lecture from Ihioze once the crisis is over. Ihioze don't mix words. He don't mince words. He speaks like a great ruler. He believes in freedom of speech when he is the person that is speaking. But he feels that he is above the law and does not always practice what he preach. He wouldn't waste time with sweet words. No. He would rather to be rough, rude, and inconsiderate when provoked. But please don't try to give him that same treatment. It simply won't work. Unless, of course, you happen to be an Ihioze person yourself and decide to do battle. Then we could all sit around and watch the magnificent fireworks that will make New Year's Day look like candles on a birthday cake. Ihioze people are not very romantic, nor even sentimental. He takes love for granted. If you love him, fine. He thinks he deserves it anyway, so no big deal. Ihioze is all about business. Let the money flow. Falling in love is really not his thing. To know much more about Ihioze, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. Type the word King Majesty. Then you will be informed when the book of Ihioze is finally released. And you could contact me at 876-844-2295 and get your copy. Ihioze is part of the first triangle of human compatibility. His most compatible partners are Abasi and Ibrahim. When these three are combined, they are unbeatable, unstoppable. They build empires while others are building ghettos. Ihioze's biggest issues is with Kamau. These two are opposites, arch opposites. Ihioze cannot control Kamau as he would control others. Ihioze is the ultimate warrior, but Kamau is the ultimate peacemaker. The truth is, no one could save Ihioze in the way Kamau would, and no one can save Kamau in the way Ihioze would. Once boundaries are established, these two could move mountains together. But Ihioze should not marry a Kamau person because whatever one desires, the other does not. This is wisdom unveiled.